Is it going? Oh, there it goes. Okay, perfect. All right, so we are live with another episode, and we are going to cross our fingers that the internet works with us this time. So I'm here with Wendy. She is the owner and founder of Charliemadison Originals. I am Melissa, the owner and founder of Southern Sweet and Sassy, and we'll bring to you another episode of Roasted Conversations. Okay. Let's try this again.
Yeah, I know.
All right.
Sometimes the internet just doesn't want to cooperate with us.
No, it doesn't. Even when you're hardlined in, there's issues. Oh my goodness, so many issues. Yes.
Yeah.
All right. So tell us, a little bit about who you are and, like about your experience as a military spouse. Let's start there.
Yes. So first of all, thanks for having me on, and thanks for being patient with the whole internet thing. I'm Wendy Hively, and I am a veteran military spouse. My husband retired around 2007, so it's been a little while. And I didn't start my business until after he had retired. So I don't have experience with the PCSing with the business and all that, but I actually run my business part-time, and I am a full-time scientist, and I work for the Food and Drug Administration, and then I do this business on the side. So a little bit about the business. Charliemadison Originals is a online shop named after my daughters. So you put their names together, Charlotte and Madison, and you get Charliemadison. It's kind of a nod to family ties and our belief in community. And so we make jewelry for military families to help them tell their story throughout all of the different seasons and transitions of military life. So from, just joining to PCS to deployment, we kind of have something for everyone in the family.
That is awesome. That is awesome. And the FDA, I have to go through you guys for my labels. So I have to go through the whole FDA approval process.
Yeah. I don't really know anything about the food side. So it's such a huge place.
Oh my goodness, it is. It is. But like you, I didn't even start until after my husband retired too. So it's easier. It's a lot easier.
It is. And, the interesting thing is when my husband was active duty, I didn't really feel like I fit into the military spouse community, mostly because we didn't live like the traditional military spouse life, or at least that's what I thought. We didn't live on base. We didn't move but a couple of times. And so it wasn't until I started my business afterward that I really fell into this amazing network and community of military spouses and entrepreneurs. And it is incredible. It really is.
Yes, it is. I mean, it's that connection and the fact that, we all support each other in our business endeavors and even in life, as a military spouse or military family, it's like we are there because we understand. And, what better way than having another business owner, support what you're doing. And just that community itself, where if you need an answer to something, you know who to go to.
Of course. And that's how we met, because we just celebrated our 6th anniversary, and I had reached out to you as a fellow, military family owned business. And I asked you to be part of our anniversary boxes. We sent out these really fun boxes filled with goodies from other military spouse and veteran owned businesses. And we were so excited to include your coffee in those boxes. And everybody loved it, by the way. I just wanted you to know that.
I love hearing stories like that. Yes. And I love, I love being a part of, things like that, especially when you're celebrating 6 years. I haven't even gotten a year yet.
Oh,
I'm still a baby in entrepreneurship.
You are, but you'll learn, it's a process. It's a real experience. It's a learning experience. So, my business from 6 years ago to today looks a lot different, and I look a lot different. I think we all learn a lot, not just about our business selves, but our personal selves too, by being an entrepreneur. It's hard. I think it's harder than being a parent.
It can. Yeah. Okay. I agree there. mine are so self-sufficient right now that it's like, I'm so focused on this and all the issues that arise. And it's just like, just one day where everything is.
Well, mine are grown. So mine are both adults now, or well, age wise, they're adults, I should say. But it does get easier. So if you have little kids now, just know that it does get easier as they get older, and you have more time to do the stuff that you can't ever seem to get done when you have toddlers and younger kids needing your attention all the time.
Oh yes, I can completely understand that. Mine right now are they're ranged from 11 to 20.
Oh,
so
okay. Yeah.
They're completely self-sufficient. I remember one time we had my nephews, all three of them come and stay the weekend. And they were, at the time, I think they were like 3 under 7. And the youngest was 2 or 3. And my thought process to my husband was like, you are crazy. You invited them and you are taking care of it. They didn't want to sleep. They were up to like 2 in the morning.
Yes.
I'm like, no.
I mean, you really forget how much energy they require. They really do.
You do. And you look back on it and you're, in my head was like, how in the world did I do this? Because at one point in time, I mean, I have 4 and this was in the military. My husband was deployed and I had 4 under the age of, let's see, Eva and Tate's are about under the age of like 9 at one point. And the youngest 3, I mean, the boys were 18 months apart. And my daughter was my youngest was 2.5 years younger than the youngest. So and you're always on the go. There's just, you don't have time to yourself. So it always hits you at point in times when I'm like, I don't know how I did it. And you get asked, how do you handle those kids when your husband is on deployment? It's like, I have a lot of coffee, some shots here and there. Your friends.
I know, right? My husband was deployed when my kids were younger too, and I was working. I mean, because I've always worked our whole married life, and so I had to get them. Now I had to do the daycare drop-offs myself, school and daycare, and I wasn't used to having to do that, do all of it. So it's a lot.
Yeah. Yeah. And now it's like, I'm noticing that work can be more flexible because, parents have to drop their kids off. And for me, I wasn't able to work when my husband was in. And it was because it was like I was working just to pay for daycare.
Yeah. Yeah. When you have 4 kids, 2 is even hard. And nowadays, I don't know. I mean, we were lucky to have access to the daycares on base, which saved a lot of money because now I don't know how people pay for daycare. I don't either. I can't imagine.
No, I remember one year we had actually all 3 of our younger ones were at like in the Y for before and after, and then during the summer. And at the very end of the year, you get that tax statement that you can kind of like deduct and write off. It was like $12,000 just for daycare expenses. And you just don't think it's that much when you're paying for it until you get that. And you're like, wow, that's a lot of money that you're putting towards daycare. So for me, it really didn't make any sense. So my career and my experience didn't even start until a year before my husband started retiring.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I know. And that's what makes entrepreneurship so, just trying to think of the right word. So attractive, I guess, for military spouses, because not only can you be home and still get some things done, but you can take it with you for those PCSs and stuff, So it nowadays with the internet, I mean, when my husband was in and we PCS to Okinawa and back again, that we had internet, but it wasn't, it
wasn't as good as it is now.
Yeah. It wasn't like you were doing business so much as, like we do today. So I think it's great. I think it's a great way. It's a great boost for military spouses. And there's so many great organizations that support military spouses. And just as a plug, because I recently discovered them, if you're a military spouse, the Military Spouse Chamber of Commerce just recently organized, and you can join for free. You can have your business listed there, and they even do, you can be a certified military spouse owned business, like other certifications. They now have that program. So check it out, because right now I believe that certification is free. I think I was told there's I think it's Johnson & Johnson that's paying for that. They're paying for the cost to do that certification for us right now. So if that's something that, if you're watching now and you're interested in doing that, definitely check it out.
Yes. And it was a pretty streamlined process. So it wasn't that bad at all. And everything is uploadable. But yes, I believe Jamie was saying that they're looking at next year, because every year you have to recertify.
Okay.
There will be a cost for it next year. So that's what they're looking at. But yes, we just recently gotten ours. So
I just recently submitted mine. So I'm waiting for the So yeah, I'm just a couple steps behind you. So but I was really excited. She is, I kind of connected with Jamie. She's amazing. And I know she speaks so highly of the other women that are part of that chamber as well. So, Jen, I just saw a comment. Hi, Jen. Yes. Jen Smith she is a good friend of mine, and she's also one of the Charliemadison ambassadors. So I love seeing her name. She's a really amazing a veteran Army spouse. So.
Oh, wow. Hooah. Yeah. I think that's how they do it. It's so funny, because one of my really good friends, he's a retired Army, and he's always saying that.
I know. I don't get it. You and I don't get it with the Navy, right?
Yeah. It's oh, yeah. It's the.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but yes, Jamie, we had a video, I don't know, just like a video chat when I was going through the process, and she just has so much good information, and she's what I call a connector. She has all these organizations, these businesses, like these companies that, they accept the MSCC, certification. And I'm just really excited, to be a part of it.
Yes. Yeah. It's a great resource. And there's others as well. AMC, Association of Military Spouse Entrepreneurs. So, I mean, there's just a lot of, even some of it costs a little bit of money, but a lot of it is free. So a lot of available resources for us military spouses.
Yes. And especially when you're wanting to get into entrepreneurship, I mean, there is the Rosie Network. And the Rosie Network does the Service to CEO program, which is free. And if you're a veteran, there's Bunker Labs, you're able to become part of Veterans in Residence. And that's a very highly, respected program as well. But yes, there are so many organizations. AMC is a really big one. So I'm excited to be part of that community. But just, the military spouse community as a whole. Go ahead.
And ACP too. I wanted to give them a shout out, American Corporate Partners, because I just finished a mentorship. I actually mentored a military spouse last year, and we finished up this year recently. But that is completely free too. You apply to it. They pair you with a of somebody who's further ahead along in their business journey. And then you work together for an entire year and they can help you. I was amazed at the progress she made in our year of mentorship. So it's a great program too.
It is. I have an amazing mentor from that program.
Oh, good.
And I'm going through it.
You're doing it now too. It was great. It was so funny that how they pair you. I don't know how it seems like a magical match, because they paired me with somebody first. And I said, I really don't want to focus on the science. Like, they paired me with a scientist. And I said, I really don't want to do that. I really want to mentor somebody who is trying to start their own business. That's kind of what I wanted to do. So the second one, we got paired, and it turns out we have the same birthday. I mean, what are the odds of that, right? I know. So there's something magical going on with that program.
Right. And then it's like you tend to become, friends with your mentor or with your mentee, because going through the process, you learn so much about them and about yourself. They learn, about you. Being connected is just,
and connecting you with other people. That's yeah. And Jen says that our Riveter also offers a grant. I know they recently started that, and now I know I'm biased because I absolutely adore our Riveter because I still work with them and they sell my bracelets on there. We've done so many amazing collaborations together, and those ladies at our Riveter are incredible as well. So yeah, check out that grant program if you're watching and looking for some other funding options as well.
I might have to look into that. I don't know about this one.
You definitely check it. I know I think they started it this year. And I don't remember how many people they are granting. Maybe Jen knows. She says she is a Riveter too. So she works for our Riveter as well. But yeah, but they are a pretty great company.
That is awesome. I'm definitely going to have to look into them. That is wonderful. Yes. So if you were able to give a military spouse any advice, what advice would you give them?
I would say, well, like I said earlier, entrepreneurship is very hard. No matter what you're selling, providing, what service you're providing or selling a product, it's very hard. I think the reason that I've stuck with it for so long is just simply grit and perseverance. And I know that sounds sometimes like a really cheesy answer, but things don't always work. If you can just keep staying in the growth mindset and keep trying new things. And if they don't work out, just kind of let them roll off your back and move on to the next thing. Don't get stuck on one thing. Not everybody is going to like all of your ideas. And so if you can just keep moving forward and always keep learning and trying to find, work on the next thing and just keep at it, because especially with marketing and all the social media stuff, it's really hard too. And I can promise you that even though sometimes it feels like crickets, people are watching. So just keep at it. Always keep at it. And you will make headway, make connections, collaborate within the military spouse community. It's so great. And if you get stuck and you need somebody to reach out to me. I will help you. And I know Melissa has said that before too. People in this community are always willing to help. So if you get stuck, reach out to someone who could give you the answer.
Yes. And I'm a big believer in that. If I have information that I can help somebody with, I'll give it to you. I'll connect you with organizations and, people that would be able to answer or, kind of help benefit you in a way. And definitely. That's a big thing about our community. We're there for each other.
It is. I mean, it's community over competition. There is plenty of success to go around. And when we all work together, we can do amazing things together. So
I agree. All right. So on that note, that was a really high note. Is there anything else you would like to add before we sign off?
I did forget to mention, speaking of community,
yes.
We are all about supporting the military family as well. So not only do we have at Charliemadison Originals an amazing community of customers, but we give back to the military community. So we give back 5% of our sales every year to organizations that support military members and their families. So when you buy from our shop, it's not just about buying something. It really is about supporting the community that you're a part of, that we're all a part of. And my family actually has 3 generations and 4 branches of service in it. So that is why it's so important to me to give back. Not just that my direct immediate family was part of the military, but my entire family and all of these other families out there are part of one big community.
Yes. That is amazing.
Yes. So
I love it. All right. Okay. So it was great being able to finally finish a conversation with Wendy. um, and Roasted Conversations will be back on Thursday at 6 with Rita. So we'll have a nice conversation with her. Until then, thank you guys for joining us for this conversation, and we look forward to more episodes.
Thanks for having me. I really appreciate it.
Yes, thank you for being on here again.
Yes.
All right.